Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Squared Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. My name is Johnny Bottles. To my left, Dr. Don Wayne, showing his pearly whites over there. Dr. Don Wayne, the neckbeard psychologist. You know him, you love him from Twitter, the X-verse, if you will. Don, what a night last night. What a night of wrestling entertainment. What a week of wrestling news. Everybody's handling the wrestling news so well online. It's just they're just so really laid back about everything, Don. It's amazing. I'm really glad that the IWC is showing restraint. What's
Happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. Before we get started, I got the day off today, so I was very excited. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. I do want to say this much. Y'all need some fucking help out there. Y'all need to come to grips with reality. Get a job, get a hobby, do something productive with yourself. Because the anger people have on Twitter over tweeting is just, it's insane right now, especially over wrestling of all things.
Yes.
Like, literally stand back and fuck your own face. God.
Logistically, that would be impossible.
I watched that last night.
Go ahead.
I watched that show last night.
Yes.
I was sitting here in the house looking at Daniel Garcia, and the thought occurred to me, the only way that guy has a job is because Tony Khan loves to watch him parade around and dance in his banana hammock. That's the only reason that guy's got a job.
That is it. Do you believe, Don, that when his contract was up, there was a bidding war between WWE, NXT?
Not a chance, no.
And AEW? Of course not.
Let's be real adults here for a minute. Let's do that. Let's be real adults. The other part about that show last night, we're sort of starting off with a shotgun approach right now.
Because it's so prevalent in our minds, the hatred that we had for the show last night
is so
paramount
bad
in our minds. Horrible. Horrible.
I would rather watch Faces of Fear.
The what?
I would rather watch Faces of Fear where they beat the monkey and eat his brains than have to sit through that again.
Faces of Death. I'd rather watch the guy in the electric chair get fried and still be alive. Yes.
This show was, it's hard to just not jump into this because of the shit show that it was. They were advertising it nonstop as sold out. Sold out! We're hanging from the rafters. And then there's people showing live shots of the action. And there's hundreds, if not thousands of seats that are unsold. The place holds 16,000 people. It was one debilitating match after another where they just, MJF, thank God, was the only thing that was worth watching last night, in my opinion.
I'd have to give it to you there, yeah. I'd have to give it to you.
But I don't want to get into all that. We have a lot of other things to shit on. It's kind of hard to know where to start, but there's big news coming out. Oh, hold on. Mark Hayes coming in here. Hold on.
Don't hit it. I hit it. There you go. A bidding war for used bacon grease is more realistic than a Daniel Garcia bidding war. Evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Mark K. Thank you.
Good evening, Mark K.
Thanks for the soul, Buck Pal.
Let me tell you something, by the way.
Yes.
Bacon grease is highly underrated. You can put that shit on anything and make good food. We give it to the dogs every time we use it. Warm that shit back up, pour, a little bit of on their food. They eat that shit like it's going out of style. They get a nice shiny coat. You can see it set in like after a day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I highly recommend it. But, yeah, no, you're right, Mark. Hey, nobody's bidding for this jackass.
We make our own dog food here. I told you that before. And
yes,
a pound of bacon mixed in with rice and vegetables and things like that, and diced up chicken breast. A pound of bacon for 5 dogs, and the grease gets poured in. You can't go do a lot of it because it can. I think it damages their pancreas or something.
I can say this much though about cooking bacon.
Yes,
I was sitting there cooking at one time, just wearing my banana hammock, and that was the last time I did that. That shit was popping, and I was hopping.
Yeah.
I had spicy nipples.
Muy caliente.
Yo, dude. Let's talk about some news that's going on. Thanks again, Mark. Super chat's open. Like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button. The report backstage is LA Knight's getting a push to get moved to Raw. They want him back on Raw. That's the big push. They want to move him over there. They feel like it'll refresh his character. My whole thing is, God, what it really means is they want to see if they can get him in line for that title, if you ask me personally, to make him a main eventer over there. That's how I sort of feel about that. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Nope.
I'm not mad at it. Like, but again, are you going to push him to the main event? It's like I said, he's just sort of always on that. He's on that last step before he gets to the main event level.
Would you qualify him as an upper mid-carder?
Yes, he very much is. He is the Razor Ramon of his era as far as that upper mid-card status.
He's scraping his head on the glass ceiling, basically, is what it is.
But I don't know that there's anywhere else for him to go.
Well, he's undeniable. He gets a pop, good, great on the stick, in the ring, serviceable, and he sells a ton of merchandise.
I do want to talk about this, though. I mean, the reason I'm bringing him up first is because they had SmackDown this past Friday, and we don't usually talk about SmackDown because it's so far away. It's so long ago.
By the way, have you heard? SmackDown's going to 2 hours.
I was going to get there. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you knew.
Yeah.
We never talked about that. Yes.
Motorhead says for $10, the Ayatollah podcast, a roll of SCM rules. Thank you, brother Motorhead. Hope you're doing well today. Hope you had a great day. But yes, SmackDown is supposedly going to 2 hours July 4th as well.
Really?
Starting July is what they're saying now. Starting July 4th, it's supposed to be going back to 2 hours.
I heard the end of August because they're debuting that new show, The Rainmaker, right after SmackDown.
Well, I can guarantee one thing. Raj Gaziri, who I do follow and I do enjoy his tweets,
What's
put
his
out
name?
July 4th. Raj Gaziri, I think that's how you say it, right?
Raj Giri.
Okay. He put it out there. It's definitely 2 hours on July 4th. So I think that's when it's supposed to be starting. So I hope that's the truth. We've been begging for this. 3 hours is just too damn long. I don't have enough. I can't give you 3 hours every Friday, WWE. I just can't do it. I give you an hour and a half tops. I can't give you 3 hours. But having said that, sorry, go ahead.
What I can't understand is you got all those people in the WWE roster, and they can't pad that show out for 3 hours. They can't find content. They can't give lesser talent a push on SmackDown.
Oh, you're
the only one
that
actually
now.
The only two people that actually got anything good out of that was Zelina Vega and Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green got a hell of a push on SmackDown with the U.S. title and the whole 9 yards. But
you want to fight? We'll fucking fight, models, right now.
Let's do it.
Okay. The truth of the matter is there just aren't enough good wrestlers these days. There's just not. They're not creative enough. They're not entertaining enough. They don't do enough, period.
Not enough charisma.
Not at all.
Don's getting frustrated.
Denisha, I see you, honey. I'm gonna come to you in just a little bit. We're gonna talk all about the CMLL titles, all that shit.
Don's getting frustrated.
But there's just not enough talent over there. Thank you again, Motorhead. Let's read this real quick because that's a lot. I see you over there. Hey, Don and Bottles, a Grand Slam was suck bad, and Mercedes dating Beast Mode Toast. Why does she need the CMLL titles? It's just sad that they're giving it up to TK. Better had pay those promotions for her. NXT, man, we're going to talk about all this, Denisha. Believe you me, we're going to get there. Thank you for the 9999. Good God.
Thank you so much, Denisha. Thank you so much. Your support's greatly appreciated.
If you throw up something else, I promise we'll throw it up. I'm going to take this down for now so I can see Bottles' little mouth over there moving so I know when he's talking or not. But I promise you we're going to throw up your comments, Denisha. There's just not enough talent, Bottles, for me. There's just not.
Yes.
Or there's not talent that's getting over. That's the best way that I can put it. It's just not getting over. It doesn't know how to work the microphone. There's very few people in that business that can work the microphone like her. I mean, like CM Punk or like John Cena. It's just not there. I don't know if that's just me, I guess. Because the other part of this is SmackDown kicked off with Cena in the ring, and then everybody and their mother, it seemed, came down to the ring. Cody Rhodes came down. LA Knight came down. Randy Orton came down. Who's the other one I'm missing on that whole thing?
Punk was on the show.
He was later, though.
Later. He was the last segment, I believe, wasn't he? If I'm not mistaken.
What are the last? LA Knight? Yeah. So either way, the whole point of this is it was highly entertaining. I loved all of it. This show I thought was it felt like Raw. I've been saying this for months. This felt like a Raw show to me. It felt like the writing was Raw. Cody Rhodes had an angle. Everybody was intricately woven into each other's storyline. in
Right.
my opinion. And R-Truth showed back up and beat up on John Cena. And John Cena's in the back of the whole thing with his hat on backwards, giving you a little bit of a throwback moment. I just thought that was really cool.
With that new haircut on R-Truth, it's a little. You do a double shot trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? You do a double shot trying to figure it out. Thinking, who is that guy? Oh, no dreads. That's no dreads truth.
Yeah, it's really odd to try to.
Very odd to see
like
that those dreadlocks was a trademark
Yes.
for him for all these years. Is that another $99.99?
No. I'm just throwing it back up there to give the girl her time.
Oh, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
A second there. Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to give our girl some screen time here. But yeah,
Absolutely.
that's sort of how I felt about it, man. I really enjoyed the show from top to bottom. I really enjoyed Jade Cargill coming out. She looked fantastic. Her getting the win. I thought that was fun.
Yeah. Going to the finals.
Yeah.
Semifinals.
Really? I mean, I was impressed.
What
else? What about
Hikuleo? That's a big news for that SmackDown.
Yes.
The dark match that opened the program, the dark match you didn't see on TV, was Hikuleo wrestling. He is another Samoan wrestler. He's going to he's like almost 7 feet tall. He's a Samoan Kane, basically. And I think of that match, I forgot who he was wrestling. Who was he wrestling? Not Chad Gable.
I don't remember who he was wrestling either, but the big thing was that he was there. Everybody was freaking out when they saw him. I don't know who he is, but that's a big bastard, man.
That's a big man right there. Very big guy. And he's going to join one of these Bloodline factions. Probably Solo Sikoa to combat Jacob Fatu. That's what I would say.
Probably so, which I'm glad you brought that up because Jacob Fatu also had his moment in the sun on Friday night where he cuts a hell of a promo, man. I'm completely blown away by that guy's promo. He really did a good job. He, as the kids say, he's young and hip. He's down with it.
It's like he got the bullet points and he put his own phrasing into
Touch on it.
He put his own verbiage into it. Yes, which is what they used to do in the old days.
So I did enjoy the hell out of this. Cody Rhodes won his match. What's her name? The Penelope Pipsqueak girl. She won hers. She beat she went over at Charlotte Law, so it was kind of fun to watch that. What the hell is that little girl's name?
Roxanne
Perez. Make me look this shit up. Bruh. Come on. What's her name? She's like a little Liv Morgan.
Roxanne Perez. She's the
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, she won.
She won, yes.
Okay, so I guess we're done covering SmackDown because it's trying to jog your memory way too hard.
It's a few days away, pal. It's a few days ago. Can't remember what I did yesterday, let alone all back then. But
can you remember Raw?
Comment on it. What's that?
Can you remember Raw?
Yes, I do remember Raw.
Well, there's only like 3 things to remember about Raw. Number 1, Liv Morgan got hurt, and that sucks because she's having the best run of her career by far. And you can't tell me no different. She's having the best run of her career by far. I don't want to hear shit out of nobody. It's absolutely amazing what she's been doing. And apparently she dislocated her shoulder just taking a basic bump to the mat, man. And it was really sad to see because as soon as she hit, you could tell she was in pain. She rolled out and she was like, nope, I am not getting back in there.
Well, she's done it before. This is the second time she separated her shoulder. And it was dislocated because it was dislocated. They could pop it back in. She actually tore the tendons that connects her shoulder blade to her clavicle. And that's not good. They say with a dislocated shoulder, you could be out for 3 months max. Okay. With what she's got going on, she's going to need surgery. She's probably going under the knife right now. And with that, you're going to be out for 6 months. She's probably going to come back Royal Rumble time. But what they should do.
I hate that.
What they should do is bring her back to TV after the surgery when she's well enough to travel. And just stay in the back with the Judgment Day. Fan the flame. Fan the scorn and hatred between her and Roxanne Perez.
I hate to go back to SmackDown, but the one thing I didn't want to talk about was CM Punk's promo on that show with John Cena. CM Punk and John Cena had a moment where John Cena called him a hypocrite. And I love it when I see real life intertwined with actual wrestling angles. Because right now, CM Punk's going over to Saudi Arabia. And whether you like him or not, the one thing you're going to have to own is he's a hypocrite for what he said in the past. He is. Nobody ever said CM Punk was a good guy behind the scenes. He's a hell of a performer. Here's the thing. I enjoy watching him. I could sit back, have a adult beverage, enjoy his matches, enjoy his promos. I'm not buying the guy a fucking Pepsi if I see him in public. Personally, I think he's a bad person behind the scenes. Nobody ever said he wasn't.
Right.
That's just my opinion of him. But this promo really hit home with me because John Cena called him a hypocrite. I thought they had some great interactions where they were going back and forth where, Punk said, "You're me. You're playing the part of me." I thought that was absolutely amazing.
Right.
I thought that was amazing.
I dug everything about it. Don, did you hear that Jonathan Coachman was spreading rumors about Britt Baker going to WWE like her contract was up already? But I do think she'll be going to go to WWE 2026 when her contract expires, unless she got a lawyer and negotiated her way out of it, or is in the process of that, much like Malachi Black did. Malachi Black got a lawyer because he added all this injury time on the Malachi Black and a lot of deliberations, and he got out of his contract early.
Denisha, thank you for that. But by the way, I don't know if you saw the most recent Instagram picture of Britt Baker. She's not going to be taking any bumps anytime soon. I'm not so sure she's not done with the wrestling business, period.
Not working out heavy?
No, not at all. I actually got tagged in it yesterday. Can't remember who did it, but they tagged me and said, "What do you think of this?" I was like, she is not taking a bump anytime soon. That's not happening. Well, she's as thin as a rail. So,
yeah,
God bless her. Good luck to her.
Down in Orlando, she's got a dental practice. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
I looked her up.
Yeah.
And she's practicing full time in Orlando as a dentist. And working one day a week for AEW, it was beneficial to her. She could do the dentist gig and wrestle once a week. But with WWE, that's a big change, man. That's a big change.
You know what I think?
What's
I
that?
think you're an anti-dentite.
I could be an anti-dentite.
Back to Raw. I want to cover this real quick. We're going to pick the show up here. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some laughs. I got some shit I want to talk about here in a little bit. The other part about this was Goldberg's ass came out to challenge Gunther, and everybody at home groaned, and everybody in the arena popped. I've never seen two completely different reactions to a wrestler's return in my life. The people at home were like,
when the pyro and the firecrackers or whatever, bottle rockets, whatever you want to call them, were going off, he was throwing his leg up in the air like he used to, doing the fist punches and throwing his leg up in the air for a kick. I thought he was going to dislocate a hip. And he might have done that because he was limping to the ring. He was limping up the steps to get into the ring.
Yes. That was noticed by so many people that he looked, there's no way this guy can fucking take a bump at this age. He's going to fall over, drop dead, as they say.
It's already been reported by Goldberg in an interview that from the waist down. What are you got?
I see you. Keep going.
What are you doing? From the waist down, he's shot. He can't get his cardio up. He's having all kinds of problems. In terms of the shoulders, the chest, the abs, the arms, he's the goods. But from the waist down, he's a wreck by his own admission.
Do you think he wears pants to the ring, like some sweatpants or something, when he has this match?
I think he will. I wouldn't be surprised if he wears a shirt. It might get ripped off of him during the match because Gunther likes to chop.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if he wears pants.
So That's say pants and pants, no banana hammock is what you're saying.
Banana hammock. No. It'd be amazing if he came out with a banana hammock. That'd be amazing if he did. But he would look like I don't know. He would look horrendous.
Okay. Well,
what would you do if he came out with a banana hammock?
I'd fucking die. I roll over in my chair and die on the spot.
What about?
Take me, Lord. I've seen it all.
What about?
No, we're not doing thongs.
No, nothing like
that. I tell you what we are doing. What we are doing is we're calling out Conan and his bullshit for ripping off our hot dog segment on the catch-up. Pieces of shit.
That was disco.
Well, same difference. Same
Conan!
guys ripping off our shit. Conan! Ripping off our shit. You think we didn't see you ketchup stealing bastards? We saw what you did.
Absolutely.
Pricks.
He put a poll on Twitter.
I know.
About ketchup being on hot dogs. That's my thing.
Speaking of your thing.
Yes.
You said Goldberg was going to win this time. Are you sticking by this?
I am sticking by this completely. And Seth Rollins is going to cash in either Saturday night's main event when it's all done and said and done, or he's going to wait till Goldberg does a promo on Raw following Monday, and he's going to cash
and just
in.
jump his ass.
He doesn't. Rollins doesn't have to jump him. Spear by Braun Breaker, Tsunami by Bronson Reed.
That's literally jumping him.
I'm not talking about Rollins. Rollins won't get his hands dirty. His henchmen will do it. Speaking of which, they just re-signed Omos. They just Mark K. Next thing Biles will say is Britt Baker should have her own school. You rabid anti-dentite. Would it be a dentist school? Would it be a dentist school or would it be a wrestling school?
No, you could take.
It would be a wrestling school.
Yeah,
No, just joke. It had to be a dental school because she's not a good wrestler. It would be, yeah.
Thank you again, Mark. We're going down the rabbit hole here, but no.
Oh, as I was saying,
off my game.
They re-signed Omos, who you never see.
Never.
And
I did see that. Why did they re-sign him?
They're talking about adding a third man to the Rollins faction.
They have a third man.
No, I'm talking about adding a third follower of Rollins. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Omos. Heyman can do all the promos for him, and he could just stand back and go like all the Giants.
The other part about this I want to talk about is Bully Ray, because of this Goldberg match, he thinks there's going to be a stipulation added to this match. He wouldn't go into any more than that. He just said, I think it's going to end up with a stipulation. What kind of a stipulation do you put in this match?
I'm not sure. Jericho in a pole match?
It's got to be a retirement match, right? Like it's belt versus retirement.
They already said it's going to be his retirement. He's on his retirement run right now. It's going to be his last match. That's what it's being billed as, right?
Again, thank you again, Mark. I'm just saying, like, but okay. I'm just saying, like, he's just coming back and saying, I'm gonna get that title. Why? Yeah. Why is he jumping to the front of the line? I don't understand it.
This is something that Triple H put together. Back last summer, they were talking about doing this, and they needed to decide when the time was right. And now, that's why Uso lost the belt, so Goldberg could come back as a babyface, of course, and challenge a heel. The big German heel, Austrian heel. I know he's Austrian. Everybody thinks he's German. He's got a German name. And be the good guy one last time in front of his family and friends, a lot of whom never saw him wrestle before, except on TV. They're going to see him live and in person, looking like a physical wreck, probably having a 5-minute match, or maybe, hopefully for Bill, it's a 2-minute match with Gunther.
It can't be 2 minutes. It's going to have to be some length in this, man. You're going to have some length in this match.
Collar and elbow tie up, back him up into a corner. Gunther starts chopping the hell out of him. He does his little Hulk up kind of thing where he's hitting stuff and slapping his face, screaming. Goes after Gunther. Gunther shoots him in the ropes. Spear. Pick him up, spear. A jackhammer's out of the question. He will not be able to pick up Gunther.
So again, I'll ask you.
Yes.
Who wanted to see this, man? No one I know wanted to see this. No one. I don't want to see this. I don't need to see Goldberg again.
Goldberg wants to see it. Goldberg wants to see it. Triple H wants to see it. He thinks it'd be a great thing to counter-program All In with. It's on the same night as All In. So you've got to have this car crash of Gunther and Goldberg closing out Saturday night's main event. Everybody's going to be watching it. Who's going to be watching All In?
Nobody. But here's somebody on Twitter says
Cheeto sexuals will be watching.
Somebody on Twitter says, "Oh God, now I get to watch Goldberg hurt one of my favorite wrestlers." I said, "Don't worry about it, pal. There's a perfectly good chance he'll fuck himself up first, because that's what he's prone to do. He puts his head into turnbuckles, into the mat. I don't want to see this. I don't care. I don't care what kind of stipulation you put in this. I don't want to see this. I don't want anything to do with this. Get it away from me as far as possible." But I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch because of the car crash effect.
He was sweating so badly. I mean, he was Ultimate Warrior last appearance sweating badly in that ring, talking to Gunther. It was horrendous. I thought he was going to have a heart attack. He was sweating just walking from the back to the ring. How long? How's a man going to do a match? I don't know.
Other news and notes. Undertaker supposedly has made it known he wants to have a creative role in the WWE Universe.
This is another Jonathan Coachman rumor that he's been floating around. And Busted Open.
Well, it's making its way now.
Busted Open picked it up and ran with it because that's what Coachman has heard from people that he still knows who work there. Undertaker, what was it, Money in the Bank? He was at Money in the Bank giving people advice. Tanisha says, is Goldberg's retirement last final? Let's get it over with. He go mind. He's lost his mind. Is that what you're saying?
Go out on your back is what I say. He's got to eat the pit, in my opinion. Yeah. Anyway, so they're saying
it's not going to happen, pal.
But I'm glad that you brought up Coachman because Coachman started another rumor that apparently Yahoo itself, which goes to show you how bad the media has become. So Yahoo, a billion-dollar organization, took a rumor that Coachman started, ran with it, and said TKO was now looking to unload its most profitable business, which is the WWE. And people ran with it because they're idiots. They are literally, WWE is the only one getting them out of the debt that they're in right now from UFC, because UFC put them in such a hole. They're like $3 billion in debt, and the WWE is just digging them out of this debt.
UFC's not doing as well as it did 20 years ago, 15 years ago. It's not doing that well. It doesn't have the big stars. The era of Daniel Cormier and John Jones and Brock Lesnar and all those guys, they're all gone. Well, John Jones comes in and out.
Yeah, but it's so in and out. He's not there consistently enough.
Not there consistently. They've got no big stars. Rousey's gone on the female side. Who's the other? Who's the other big female star they had who beat Rousey?
She wasn't really a star. She was just well known, and then she got her ass kicked the next fight.
Okay,
it's one of those things where I don't know how to put this. TKO is not going to sell the golden cow that they have. That's a money printing machine that is the WWE. For anybody who believed that and ran with that, you're an idiot. You should probably unfuck your brain and do something else. Go outside, cut your yard, pick up sticks, eat dirt. I don't care. Just stay out of the IWC. You give us all a bad name, for the love of.
It's unbelievable.
Holly Holm, that's it.
Holly Holmes, the preacher's daughter, Holly Holmes. There's three rumors that Coachman started. The Baker rumor, which I heard, and this selling WWE rumor, and what was the other rumor you said that he had? What was that one rumor? What was the one in the middle?
I can't remember now. My brain's mush.
My brain's mush too, pal. I haven't had any weed or alcohol today, so.
Oh, well, you need to fix that right now.
I'm not able to concentrate. What was that rumor?
Anyway, the TKO selling WWE is the most asinine thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I couldn't believe it when I read it the first time. And then people ran with it and they didn't shut up about it. Like you're basing this on nothing. What are you doing?
Don, they're $3 billion in debt. Oh my.
Yeah.
Juan is back for $5. Hey, dads, do you guys think they're feeding Coachman false rumors to lure out a leak? Feels like that recently. You know, Juan, you could very well be right. They've done it before. There was a man named Dijak who worked for them, and they fed him a bunch of bullshit that was posted on Fightful, and that's why Dijak got the heave-ho, because he was a Fightful stooge.
And I'll give you this much, Juan. You might be onto something, man. You really could be onto something. Yes. I wouldn't doubt that at all. It makes a lot of sense. You just start floating shit out there and you float different things and you see where it goes. And when it comes up for surface, or it comes up to the surface, as they say, you know who let it go. And it really does feel that way. But the TKO thing, to me, just my opinion, sounds so far-fetched that the fact that you could believe this says more about your intelligence than it does anything else about you. You are a complete idiot if you believe that they bought the company for $9 billion to turn around and sell it 3 years later. You're a moron.
And part of that $3 billion in debt that TKO is holding right now, part of that $3 billion in debt goes back to the $9 billion they paid for WWE. They didn't pay it all one time.
No.
They're slowly making payments on the remaining balance, just like a car when you buy a car. Major companies, maybe billion-dollar companies, conglomerates, all have debt, billions of dollars of debt. And it's a revolving debt that you just keep paying off on, paying off on. Just look at Warner Brothers Discovery, $35 billion in debt. $35 billion. Is anybody saying, hey, who's going to buy Warner Brothers Discovery? You know, there's a rumor going around. There's a rumor going around. Have you heard this?
Thank you again, Juan.
Sony is looking at buying the streaming portion of Warner Brothers Discovery. Remember, it's going to split into two companies. Sony is looking at possibly buying, when they separate, when they split the companies, buying the streaming and movie studio Warner Brothers from Warner Brothers Discovery. I think Coach is trying to monetize off rumor innuendo. Yeah, it happens. It happens. But he sounds like he actually believes this shit. So he
does believe this shit.
He was there 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So he's got contacts who still work there.
No, he used to have contacts. Most of those people are gone now.
You think so?
Matter of fact, Bruce Pritchard was gone when I believe he came on board, and now he's back. It's a revolving door in that company. The Undertaker coming on board sounds like a good idea to me.
Right.
I think he would be able to do something with that. You know what I mean? Like, I think he'd help. Yes. Speaking of not helping, Tony Khan is full of shit and decided to open up his mouth and just went full Hulk Hogan mode with the lies that he started spewing randomly in front of God and country and couldn't stop himself, to where the reporter in question actually asked him, how are you gaining cable feeds when everybody's literally leaving cable? Are you this rare unicorn in the forest that everybody's looking for? Your company's the only one gaining views. He said his company has grown year after year in ticket sales, viewership, and merchandise sales.
It's great.
It's literally impossible for him to grow in any of these aspects when the numbers show they're all down. He had 900,000 people watching 3 years ago. He's got 600,000 now.
If that. He's got his business is down 24%. 24% down. That's that was established by Grok on Twitter.
Do you know how insane he looks right now? And the worst part about this is,
did you think he's normal?
No, but hell no. The worst part about this is that the people, his fan base, is defending this moron. Like, oh no, we're doing just fine. He's right. We're doing so much better than we used to be. Look at WWE 5 years ago, and then look at them today. You can see that they're doing better because there's fucking fans in attendance.
Absolutely. I remember the days, when they would do SmackDowns, and there would be 2,000 people there.
Yeah.
For SmackDown.
It looked horrible because the show was just complete and total shit.
That was like 2007, 2008, right around that time frame. It wasn't that long ago, where they had 2,000 people for a freaking SmackDown religiously. House shows weren't drawing. It was terrible.
How can he sit there, though, Bottles, and just blatantly lie like this? I'm going to lie out of my ass. And I dare. And the other part about this is Dave Meltzer riding on his white knight to come defend him. Here I come to fuck your day. Just coming in. He's right. Look at the numbers. That Max is streaming the shit out of this show. No, they're not. You can't even find that shit. By the way, I meant to look this up earlier.
Yes.
Go ahead. No, keep talking.
The streaming services do publish their numbers. In fact, HBO.
Some of them do.
HBO Max comes out every week with the top 10 of the week. So does Netflix. And they're not ashamed to say, of course, AEW is not in that, of course. The Last of Us. They lauded The Last of Us, an original drama series, horror series on their channels, as being the number one show on HBO Max, the number one stream show. And it was a laundry list of other shows, which I'm not familiar with, shows and movies. AEW is not mentioned there at all. If they were doing a million streams, they would be somewhere in that.
They
top
would be
10.
screaming about it, Bottles. They'd be
Yes.
screaming from a mountaintop. Which, by the way, I wanted to look this up again real quick. Denisha gave so much money she took up the screen, baby. Today, 3 days after it aired live, Monday Night Raw is still the 10th rated show on Netflix, or the most watched show on Netflix this week now. Still.
Not according to the Cheetosexuals.
Yeah, dude, those people. But again,
Did you see the schmuck posted? I think his name is Took. Took, the Twitter account. They did 348,000 views on Netflix
I know.
Monday night.
I know. They're weird people, man. They're weird people.
I can't get over it, man.
Speaking of weird people, we watched AEW last night. Like and subscribe, hit the notifications button. The super chat's open. We appreciate everybody that's here.
Yes.
We want to talk about AEW because every week I say this is the worst wrestling show I've seen. And every week I need to start saying this. This is the worst show I've seen until next week. That's what it's going to be.
Well, Don, they've got some movement. I mean, they've got a lot of movement there. It's going in the wrong direction, but there's a lot of movements. They're going straight down. But it is what it is.
I can't with this company sometimes. They're screaming from the Raptors when this thing starts off. We're sold out. No,
They weren't
you
sold.
weren't.
Do you know how much
No,
those
you
tickets were? You know how much those tickets were?
Some guy showed it was $750 for his seat.
$750 in American money. But you're paying in pesos down there, of course. It was $7.
So $750.
Is that what it is? Is that the exchange?
No, I'm sorry. One peso was 5 cents.
Okay. So it was
you do the math on
$7.50
that.
on American money down there, pal. Naturally, it's going to be, and they couldn't even sell it out because they had empty seats. But no, the sickos say no, no empty seats. That was before the show. You don't understand. That was before the show. Why can't you get this through your thick skull? People aren't even there yet. When the whole floor is filled, the upper deck across on the other side of the hard cam is filled. It was great. It was great.
I don't know where to even start with this. I mean, it's great that they had a lot of fans there in attendance. I'm not going to say it wasn't good for them. It was a very good-looking stage, I thought. It looked like a very fresh-cut stage. It looked like a clean area. I don't know, but it looked crisp is the best way I can put it.
A different layout than from what you're used to seeing them in.
And then the show started.
And that's where they went wrong.
My worst fear came true.
Yes.
Because Hangman's walking to the stage with his perm freshly coated in. Tony Schiavone officially first talked, and I said, "Oh shit, he's back." Tony Schiavone's back. Taz is gone. I guess he couldn't go to Mexico. He's probably got some history there that keeps him out of the country. Kind of like Gun FTR that they wouldn't let enter the country.
Yes, they wouldn't let him in at all. A few other people they wouldn't let in. Kenny.
Finger ass. Kenny, yeah.
Well, he's selling the Kenny's out selling the
he's selling it, but yeah.
He's selling the beating that he got. So yeah.
I've got something to say about the Hangman promo, though, and I don't know if you agree with me or not. This was by far the best promo Hangman Adam Page has ever done in his life. It's not close. It was the mass goof is trying to translate him. My Spanish is not really great, but I can pick up here and there. I can pick up what he's laying down, if that makes any sense. I can't speak it fluently, and when I've got two women in the office start speaking back and forth, I'm a lost cause. Like, don't even try to. I don't know what the hell's going on because they got their own dialects and their own words. But this was the best promo Hangman's cut, and I figured it out now. If you want to get the best you can out of Hangman Adam Page, don't let him speak English. Make him speak another language to where he actually has to think about what he's trying to say.
It was the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Reserved. I've ever seen him cut a promo. He was laid back. He wasn't real pacing around like a maniac and talking like this. He wasn't doing any. It wasn't a conventional wrestling promo. But they were down in They were down in Mexico, and it was all. They didn't say ice, but it was very ice centric. The 6 people that used to work on the farm that he worked on.
Oh,
They
yeah,
needed
that
those
shit.
people. All that bullshit he was talking about.
Yeah.
Just all this virtue signaling on this show was just ridiculous. Mark K with another thin. The AEW house show money directly supported the 4 million peso match. So glad Hologram got a fictitious payday. Old Hologram. Hologram never loses. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, well, he's undefeated. They announced it again last night. He's unfucking defeated.
Yes. Yes. Like the Beast
This
Mortos.
Tony Khan is convinced this is his greatest invention. This is purely his character. He is convinced it's the greatest thing he's ever done, and he is going to push this guy to the moon.
It's Tony Khan's version of Lasertron. Remember Lasertron from WCW back in the old, well, not really, the Crockett days. The Crockett days, Lasertron. They brought out Hector Guerrero in a mask.
You know who he reminds me of? Is that, what was his name? Iceberg or what? A Glacier. That dude.
Glacier, yes. Glacier works backstage. Or at least he did last year. I don't know if he's still there or not. Okay, he's put out the salads. Who needs more salmon? Miss Monet, you need another steak?
This is when the whole show goes to shit. It just right off the cliff. Right off the fucking cliff after the Hangman promo. Because they bring out FTR Dax with his guy, and there's no gun. And then they bring out, dude, where do I start with this thing? They got some luchador, I don't know. They got Kyle Fletcher, Okada. And I was like, all right, let's go to start now. And they kept coming. It was nameless guy after faceless guy. They brought out the lost city of Atlantis and Atlantis Jr. So I got a city in his town in the ring. This thing sucked.
Atlantis Jr., Trembario, Bandito, Cornholio, they were all coming out. They were all coming out. Why did they cut to a commercial and have half of them already in the ring?
Why didn't they just bring them all out at once under one banner of music?
Because they don't know what they're doing. Donna Bottles, they couldn't give women time on a show like Willow. Time on the show, just resigned. Who just resigned to your company, not on the show? No Thunder Rosa, but it's for Mercedes to win the CMLL title to win. Yes, Thunder Rosa, I heard, was on Ring of Honor after this show. They actually did a whole Ring of Honor show. 2.5 hours wasn't enough. They did a whole Ring of Honor show after this.
I can tell Denisha is just chomping at the fucking bit to get to Mercedes. We got a lot to say about Mercedes.
Yes.
A lot. Yes. So hold tight, Denisha. We're going to get there. I promise you that. This thing started off like I thought it would. So they're not tagging because then it was explained to me on Twitter. Well, they're using lucha rules where you don't have to tag in lucha. Okay. So they don't have to tag. Once I saw what was happening, I was like, okay, so you don't have to tag. You just sort of come in. This is some weird shit. And then they started fucking tagging. I was like, what is this?
What I heard was the ring was so small that there wasn't a lot of apron to stand on. So they have all those guys on either side of the ring. I think maybe they were worried about the ring collapsing. I don't know. You had 14 people there. 7 guys. You got
123 fucking wrestlers and a ref in the ring. Yeah. It just didn't make it. This whole thing made no sense to me from the word go. And Overkill. Then they started tagging. What?
Overkill.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. What are we doing here? They're tagging. They're not tagging. Now we're diving. Now we got some other shit going on. Was this when fat ass fucking Brody Lee was out there, or Brody King? What the hell was that guy's name?
Brody King. Brody King came
fuck
out.
That guy.
Walked to the ring in an abolished ice shirt. Yeah. What a tub of goo.
Always with this guy, man. Just keep your power. I don't care what your political stance is. I'm tuning in to be entertained. I get enough of this shit throughout the day thrown at me. I don't want to see this on my TV when I just want to be entertained. Stop being an asshole, Jughead.
Well, a lot of people out there are like walking Twitter accounts. They think everyone needs to know their opinion.
This was weird to me, Bottles. And I was legit like, I'm going to give this a chance. I watched the WWE Worlds Collide. I thought that was highly entertaining. This was pretty good. And then it wasn't. It just was diarrhea in the ring. Then we get a 4-quarter punch spot out of nowhere. How non-luchador is that shit? Now guys fight off. They fought off to the back to make sure there were less people there.
It's just, I don't know why he would do this. I don't know what would drive him to do this. Oh, you're going to do a show at Arena Mexico? You're going to feature 20 of my guys. How the hell am I going to do that? Multi-man matches? I don't know. I don't know what the stipulations were for renting out Arena Mexico. I have no idea. But who wants to see all that? I
did. I took a note on your behalf, by the way.
What's that?
When Adam Cole came out, Adam Cole, baby. I said, look at him. Look at him. He looks like the most jacked 7th grader you'll ever see. Don, this is not the first. That ring was wrong size. I don't understand why TK is getting small rings for TK. I don't get it either. Looks small.
Are the rings that size in Mexico?
I don't have a clue.
Did he use the Mexico? You figure they would use the ring that's there. I don't know. That probably was the problem. They used the ring that was there. Oh, do you have a ring for us? Do we have to transport? Well, no, Mister. No. We got the ring. Come on down. We got the ring. And you go down there.
Don't have all your wrestlers in there. It'll fucking break.
It's a 12-foot ring instead of a 16-foot ring.
Golly Moses.
Good Lord Almighty.
This thing ended. FTR took the pin. No one gave 3 shits when this was over with.
No one. Horrible.
Least of all me. Okada,
Horrible.
Kitty get the throwback, and we get the Warrior recap from last week. The Ultimate Warrior moment with Papa Shango.
Yes. He was spitting up peach pits. He was spitting up raisins.
Just dying on the side. Just
dead. Meanwhile, 2 weeks before that, or a week prior to that,
2 weeks ago. Yeah,
he was at an Anarchy in an arena being hit with kendo sticks all around the joint, getting thrown
just
over
getting
the top rope,
pits beaten out of his guts, and it was no big deal.
Yes,
one diving clothesline though. That's what did him in.
But the slowest Asian in professional wrestling.
Good God, we're going to talk about that, pal.
Clothesline.
We're going to talk about that. So Okada and Mark Briscoe come out, and I said, well, we know who's going to eat the pin here.
Of course.
And I'm not going to get into depth over what happened to this thing. I'm not going to break this down move by move because it was painful to watch to begin with. Okada is moving like an 80-year-old grandfather.
He is.
That's the only way. Everything is slow. It's very deliberate. He's making I think this dude seriously hurt himself, like for real. And he doesn't want anybody to know about it. And he's trying to get as many paydays as he can before they go, hey, buddy, your neck is completely fried. Get out of my ring.
Well, you got to watch that company because if you take time off, 6 months off for an injury, they'll tax 6 months onto the end of your contract. And you'll never get out of that place. You'll never get out of there. Aleister Black hurt his back. Malachi Black, whatever you want to call him. He hurt his back there, wrestling some untrained goofs. And he was out for 6 months. And he had to go and get that negotiated with a lawyer so he could get out of the company. Yeah. But they'll do
I
that
got
to
hurt
you
by your idiot.
Right. Absolutely. It's just what Okada, I would think, is trying not to get hurt because he doesn't want to get hurt and have injury.
I know he's trying not to get hurt.
He's trying not to get hurt. So he's doing as little as possible. All he's got to do is throw that finger up. And he threw that finger up last night. The frickin' crickets. Crickets. They all went. And then they got it. They finally got it after that. You start to hear the reaction from the crowd. And by that time, Briscoe was up and they did a piece of business. But all he's got to do is do that and say bitch or bitches.
That's it.
And do what do you call it? The Rainmaker. Do the Rainmaker clothesline, and you're done. The laziest clothesline the laziest clothesline I've ever seen in my life.
He looks like he just does not give a shit, man. He's like, baby, I'm out. This is my last hurrah. This is as far as it's going. I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm going to get out of here healthy. And now he and Kenny are supposed to have another match. And by all accounts, people that like that kind of shit swear by their whatever it was, their series of matches. It's the greatest thing that I've ever seen since I watched that Peter North film. That's what they tell me. It gave me the same feeling. I bet it did, Timmy.
Restore the feeling, Timmy. Restore the feeling.
Calm down, killer. Go back into your tarp room with your fucking curtain blanket, your curtain window dressings.
With your Transformers bed sheets for curtains.
It's the Hulk, I told you.
Thumb tacked to the wall.
No curtain rods for you.
You don't need curtain rods there. Mom, do we have any thumbtacks? No, use packing tape.
This match was horrible. You knew how it was going to end. I said, this got to end faster than this. MJF is waving an American flag as he comes out. The Hurt people are with him. And then Mystico comes out. And I'm going to go ahead and say this, right? Because we don't get to see him wrestle anymore, which is for a very good reason, because here's a hint. You don't have your biggest stars wrestle every week. Right. That's how you know you're a big star if they don't have you wrestle every week. He doesn't. So when I see him wrestle, I'm always reminded, damn, man, this guy's pretty good in the ring. And this was no exception. He was absolutely amazing in the ring. The crowd hated his ass. He was a true heel in every way. He did heelish shit. He was waving American flags in Mexico. Yes, that will get you cheapy, but it's heat. Everything he did in this match, I was here for. I enjoyed all of it. He stood behind the Hurt business, the Hurt people, when it was time to do some chicken shit stuff, and then cowardly attacked them. MJF is the guy, man. I'm sorry. They have screwed him over for this whole year. For the last 8 months, he has just been in the worst spot. This is the first time I felt like he's in a match, and it feels like he's pulling himself up by the bootstraps and reasserting himself as the alpha male in this company.
He's still young when that contract's up. And that company, if that company's still around, which is a big question there. That's a big question mark. I hate to inflame all the sickos out there. I know they're going to start crying, but it may not be around in another year. It may be when you may have to get a YouTube belt made and a Tubi belt made. Well, not Tubi. WWE's on there. Evolve's on Tubi. This is true. Get a YouTube and an Instagram belt made. Who's the Instagram champion? Ladies or men's? That's what it's going to be.
The other part about this that got the heat was he really did rip his mask off. He, being MJF, ripped off Mystico's mask and put it on and celebrated in front of everybody, which I don't know shit about dick when it comes to Lucha Libre wrestling, but I know that mask is sacred. And when you take that mask off, people will flip out, son. And they did. And for the first time that I can remember in forever, the baby faces ran out from the back to protect their friend. And they were all the luchador wrestlers, which of course made sense. And then it happened. The Karate Kid showed up to save the day. With his partner,
jet slide, whatever they're called. Ramjet. What are they?
Slip and slide, I think.
Slip and slide.
They show up and they drop hit the Hurt people and they save the day. I have never in my life wanted to see someone go away as badly as I want to see that Karate Kid little bastard go away. Everything about that shithead bothers me. Everything.
Speedball?
That dude, yeah. Everything.
Does he owe you money?
What's the matter?
What's the matter with Speedball?
From the size to the goofy gimmick to the lack of promo skills to the lack of charisma to the lack of size. Did I mention the size? He's got a size. Dude, he's in the land of little people. I don't care.
That's where he belongs. I couldn't believe I saw Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin run from these two guys. They ran from them and exited the ring.
Oompa Loompas could kick his ass.
That's true.
Easily. Everything about this guy is a fraud, man. I can't stand this dude.
It's horrendous. It's horrendous. He can have, I'm sure he can have a good cruiserweight match with another small guy, like when Orange Cassidy comes back. He's the new Orange Cassidy. He's the new Orange Cassidy.
He is.
He's a
Yeah,
little guy
you're
they're
right.
throwing out there who's throwing around the big guys and fighting the big guys. He's the new Orange Cassidy. That's all I can tell you.
You're right. He is. He 100% is. This just sucks, man. I'm sorry. Every time he's on my TV, I can't wait to get it off, turn it off, do something else. And then we get the 4-way, 4 million pesos match with Hologram, Leo Rush, Maserati, I guess. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. Somebody else.
Mascara Dorada.
Bless you. The other guy won. Of course, Hologram won. I just do not give a shit. I don't care anymore.
The match was famous for Leo Rush coming to the ring wearing his girlfriend's thong on his head. What was that all about?
No idea.
What was that all about?
I really don't know.
I said, what is he doing from the, at least he didn't wear the effed up big red COVID looking jacket, ski jacket. That looks like
the Pokemon jacket looking thing.
The Pokemon jacket. That's right. You call it
the
Pokemon jacket. Yes. He didn't wear that. He just had the his girlfriend's leather thong on his head as he walked to the ring.
This was the channel where I changed it. I was like, what else is on? I'm going to watch the Florida Panthers win the Stanley Cup. I'm not doing this shit no more. But it wasn't the Florida Panthers. It was something else I watched because they won it on Tuesday night. Anyway, I don't give a shit. I'm out of here. I came back to watch the end of this thing. Like the channel, like and subscribe our channel. Hit the notifications button because we're going to talk about your favorite wrestler, Mercedes Mone. Denisha, here's your moment. Mercedes Mone versus Zeus,
I think it's pronounced that way. I heard Conan. I heard Conan say that.
That's right. I turned over to watch the LSU Tigers come back. This is for the CMLL Championship.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Guess who won? Don't think too hard. We're not doing that. No.
Mercedes Mone.
There you go.
Alex, I have Mercedes Mone for 300. I was so
she
excited.
Now has 6. There's a huge discussion to be had here, okay? And I want to get into this because Sega Genesis, who has been a long-time watcher of the show, and I have disagreed over the importance of Mercedes Mone. I have said from the time she got there, she's not in this business about anything but Mercedes Mone. That's all she gives a damn about. That's it. She cares about her career and what it can do for her. That's her focus. That's all she gives a shit about. She is collecting belts. Go ahead.
She left WWE, walked out with Naomi because Vince wanted her to job to Ronda Rousey at a pay-per-view.
Thanks, Larry.
Thank you, Larry. Appreciate that. He wanted her to job out to Ronda Rousey as a pay-per-view because Rousey was the women's champion. And she said, why? If I'm the tag team champions with Naomi, how come we're not on the show defending the belts? You know, Vince didn't like tag teams, so. Fuck that, pal. You're going to fight Rousey. You're going to do the JOB. And so she got all pissed off.
I'll take Terrible Wigs 4,000, Alex, from Park for 2 foot. As you know on this show, I have come to lovingly call her Wigosaurus Rex.
Yes.
So here's the whole thing, right? I want to get into this now because I'm tired of the people. How do I put this? The people are screaming now she's the female wrestler of the year because she has 6 titles.
Oh,
let me finish before you go insane because I've been trying to repress my rage all day. The belts aren't real. They're a prop. They don't win and lose them in the ring. They win and lose them behind the curtain from the guy with the pencil. That's who makes the winning and the losing. The other part I want to make about this is I don't know who any of these belts are other than the TBS, the Owen Hart belt, and the CMLL, which I kept calling the AAA belt last night because I don't watch Lucha and I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Having said that, none of this shit is impressive. She's literally making herself look important. She would be just as important if she just had the CMLL title from last night and the TBS title. It would be the same difference to me because I don't know who all these indie promo bullshit titles are that you have, and I'm damn sure not looking them up.
She's got the Bratwurst, Austrian Women's Bratwurst Eating Championship belt. She's got the Rev Pro Tater Salad belt from Great Britain. She's got some Japanese belt that she's wearing. She lost the Strong Style title. So she was a three-way match, and they pinned the other girl and not her. So that's how she lost that belt. And she couldn't do the job.
Well, I was glad you brought that up. She didn't do the job. Right. Someone else did the job because she was like, I'm not taking the fucking pin, which, by the way, she had to give that up because she wasn't defending it. And they said, hey, look, we appreciate it. It was fun. We need our belt back so we can actually do something with it that matters.
Dude, people online are saying, but her having those belts, they're taking this Revolution Pro belt or the the belts that you have. They're getting seen on national television. They're getting seen on worldwide TV. They're not even mentioning those titles.
I'm glad you said that because they're not.
They're not even
because no one knows
titles.
Who it is. No one gives a shit. No one cares.
No one cares.
Which
about an Austrian title. No one cares. Only thing you can make an argument about the Revolution Pro title is because there are people who came from Revolution Pro that are in AEW and WWE now, big stars. But it is what it is.
I want to make sure we cover all this. CMLL title said they just gave it a TK. Better pay those promotions. There we go. Better pay those promotions. And I'm glad she brought this up because I put it out there today that I was tired of all the people. I'm tired of it being about her all the time. And I'm going to bring this back to the Sega Genesis point.
Go ahead.
No one that's worked with her is better off in AEW once they work with her. Not one. The only person that's better off is Vakur, who ran away. Said, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Well, they didn't pick me. They didn't pick me up at the airport. I got to do the job to her. And where's my hotel room? Basically, that's what she was faced. Juan with $5. Calm down, Don Wayne, before she'll take your Tennessee Volunteers world title too. LOL.
I got news for you, pal.
Out of his dead cold hand. She'll have to take that belt from him.
I'll put it to you like this. No yob.
No yob.
No yob.
I told a guy online today that,
you know
wrestling's fake, right? She's the greatest. She's got all these belts, blah, blah, blah. First to be a women's champion, tag team champion in WWE, women's champion, AEW, and New Japan Pro. She's the laundry list of all her accomplishments. I said, this is all fake, right? It's all predetermined fights. It's all fake.
None of this is real.
None of it's real. We're sitting here arguing about it, get all overheated over fake programming, over fake men and women in their underwear, fake fighting on television, and we're all
How do you like me in my banana hammock? Good. How do I look?
There you go. You tighten it up a little bit. There you
go. The girls go, is my gear up my ass enough? Yes, it is. It's mine. Perfect. They're gonna jerk off everywhere. There you go.
There you go.
Cheeto second down and get it all.
I noticed last night. I think I mentioned this to you.
It was way up there, pal.
She was very Stephanie Vicarish in her placement of her shorts. It looks like she wore two sizes too small of her ring trunks. Definitely geared for Stephanie Vicar.
So back to the main point that I want to get to on all this. You brought up something, and I've seen this mentioned before, and it came up in the actual tweet that I put out there. Because they pissed you off to the point to where, and thank you again, Juan. We appreciate you, brother.
Are you going to talk about my diatribe I put out this morning?
Oh, Johnny Bottles is always talking about me being mad on Twitter. Bottles finally hit a point today and gave an entire thesis on why all these neckbeards can go fuck themselves if they think that the promoters of these individual companies aren't getting some money somewhere along the way. And if you run a business, it makes total sense. Yes, it's an adult decision. I let you borrow my belt for the next few months and you beat my champion and you pay me a little bit of extra money. If you think these guys that run these independent promotions go, oh yeah, pin my best female champion and take the belt on your TV show for free, you're out of your freaking mind. There is a form of payment that is going on, be it to the wrestler themselves or definitely the promoter, to say, I'd like to rent your property for the next few months. And notice that as soon as she lost the New Japan belt, she got 2 more to replace it, like immediately within a month.
And when she goes back to lose these belts that she's got, she's going to lose it the same way she lost the New Japan belt in a 3-way match where she won't get pinned.
And here's my next point in all this. She's got 5, well, it's really 4 belts. No, it's 5, isn't it? No, it's 4.
She's got 6. 6 now.
Yeah, but she's got 4 because the Owen Hart belt is bullshit.
Well,
right, we could agree on that. So she's got 4 other titles from 4 other companies. And I'm going to ask you this, like I asked everybody else this, and they don't want to answer it because they know what the fucking answer is. Do you think she's eating that mat 3-4 times in the next year to lose those belts? Do you think she's losing to Maxine Lucree on the fucking IWC roundabout loop? Do you think she's jobbing out to a chick no one's ever heard of?
Do you think she's jobbing out to the Sheila Roundface at the Hollywood Upstairs Wrestling School? Of course not.
No.
Of course not. It's going to be like she did it in New Japan. A 3-way match. She's one of the participants.
No way. No way.
You don't
she's not getting 4 3-ways out of this. I can tell you how this is going to go. It's one of 2 ways this whole thing is going to go down. She's either going to beat the champion of AEW and then say, I relinquish all my other titles. This is the only one that matters. Or she's going to quit and walk out the door like she did in WWE because she's not eating pins, pal. And she's, God blessed sure, not going to eat 4.
She's not losing that paycheck, pal. She's not going to go and, damage her contractual standing with the company. She's going to win from Toni Storm.
I know she is. I'm almost positive she is. And then she's going to say, I relinquish all of these titles. This is the only one that matters.
That's a scenario that we're looking at. And I think you're absolutely right. If Mercedes wins against Toni Storm, can't wait for the sickos to cry. Oh no, they're going to
celebrate.
Bandwagon.
They're going to celebrate. Yeah,
they are on the Mercedes Moné bandwagon right now, Denisha. You gotta go check the temperature of Twitter right now. They are all hot and heavy, all in, if you pardon the expression, for Mercedes Moné. The Cheetos sexuals are. The tarps will be laid out July 12th for that match. For Horseface to beat Toni Storm, a woman that basically rejuvenated her career in professional wrestling. She was taking pies to the face from Charlotte Flair in WWE, and she quit, walked out. Said,
I mean, good for her. She did a very good thing. She really did reinvigorate her career. I wish nothing but the best for Toni Storm. Sometimes you've got to go away to reinvent yourself, and I'm good with that. Right?
Right. McIntyre did it. Remember when Vince let him go?
Lots of people have done it.
Yeah, in the early 2000s, Vince let McIntyre go. It was a lot smaller.
I think it was the mid 2000s. I think it was the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just going to say this. He's not doing 4 jobs, buddy. She ain't doing.
I see your logic. I see your logic there. That the whole thing that you put together is pure genius on her part.
I'm going to win all these fucking belts, and he's like, whatever you want to do, honey.
Right.
I'm going to go watch Danny Garcia in his banana hammock for a while. I'll be back.
He tried to do that dance last night, and that luchador was not having it. He got it. He ducked underneath of him and got him in a single leg takedown.
Yeah, like no. You're stopping that shit, pal. I'm done.
I'm exasperated with Moné. Totally exasperated. Who signs off on this?
I don't know. Why do they think this is a good idea to have her running around like this?
Why does he think this is a good idea for her to bury everybody in the AEW women's locker room?
Everybody. And when I put it out on Twitter, I said, name one wrestler that's better off for working with her. They were all like, Stephanie Vacour. I'm like, she wasn't even in AEW. She wasn't in AEW.
She elevated her. She elevated her right to WWE.
Yeah, it was, I'm out of here, bitch.
That chick is one of the biggest, she's one of the hottest names in wrestling right now, Stephanie Vacour.
Because she ran away from Tony Khan and
yes.
fucking Mercedes Moné.
And
you want my belt? Sure, here it is, ho. I'm going to go make real money now.
Could hardly speak English. She went to NXT to learn her craft in the United States, and she got herself over with the devil kiss move, and her ring skills. Her ring skills, her presentation, her look, it all speaks for itself.
Then we get a bad Tony Storm segment who then attacks her in the ring, and I don't give a shit. And then Ospreay comes out with bad makeup and two bad black eyes, and I said, I'm not watching this. I'm not watching the Cracker Clan and another goddamn 15-man tag match. I'm not watching this, but it brings us to the main topic of this show, which is that there is a plumbing problem in AEW. And it's getting expensive. And it's getting expensive. And it's not just getting expensive. It's getting expensive for multiple reasons. And here's what it is. The ratings have continued to go down. The ticket sales have continued to go down. Nothing about any of this is going up. Nothing's on a positive trend. It's all going down.
You're right.
And now they're getting sued because Jon Moxley decided to grab the cameraman at one of their most recent pay-per-views and throw him across the floor because he was sitting there doing his job. Because Jon Moxley, if you haven't heard, is still pissed at the fucking Denny's server that beat his ass in a legit fight. Yes. He's still got heartburn with it. The ace of ass! The ace of ass!
What
a Chevalier.
The ace of ass. Yes. $5 from Ashen. Thank you, sir. What's that?
I didn't say anything.
I saw your mouth moving. I thought it was coming out. It was a production crew member that Moxley roughed up back in 2023. And he was supposed to hand Moxley a screwdriver. Moxley ripped the screwdriver out of his hand and threw him down on the ground. The guy was like 6-7 inches shorter than Moxley. Threw him down on the ground. The guy broke whatever camera he had in his hand. And I saw the video of it. It was all over Twitter. It looked a little speculative to me. It looked highly provocative, whether this guy's on the level or not. But supposedly he's got the receipts to prove it. He had to get a neck fusion.
He's all fucked up, dude. Like, he's a fucking mess.
Yes, cervical vertebrae in his neck was jacked up. Something else has happened to his shoulder. I think he separated his shoulder from a little
he's
shove
a
like Jon
complete
Moxley.
mess, dude. Like, this jacked him up. And this is the part that keeps getting me over and over again, right? Like, it's not bad enough that you're tanking the ratings. It's not bad enough that you're just completely uninventive. No one buys your shtick. You're a knockoff version of Stone Cold Steve Austin. No one gives a shit what you're doing out there. The title hasn't been seen in months. It's a hostage situation, and it sucks. Everything about it sucks, right? And you're continuing. And Tony Khan will not change course. He's not going to do it.
No.
And now he's getting your dumbass sued because you don't have the wherewithal as an owner of a company to get it off of this fucking moron.
I think July 12th.
Thank you, Ashton Chevalier.
July 12th, it will be off the moron.
It's coming then, yes.
It's going to happen then. It's got to happen then. Unfortunately, it's a ways off, a few weeks off. It was reported by John Alba, a New York City sports reporter and podcaster. He's got a name. He's written articles for Sports Illustrated. It was reported, and did you notice, Don, that after that day it got reported, you never heard of it again?
No.
No one was talking about that. Fightful, Meltzer, nobody spoke on that ever again. I wonder why. Glenn Taylor, $5. Don is speaking facts.
Thank you, Glenn. I appreciate it. Tony Khan seems like a really nice guy. Like a really nice guy.
He's a self-serving prick. He needs attention. He needs everybody to tell him he's a great guy. He needs everybody to tell him what you just said.
No. I said it seems like he's a nice guy. nice.
On the
But he's a
surface.
fucking schmuck. You're
Well, when
letting
you've
this
got-
guy walk all over you.
When you've got legit sports reporters on Fox Sports 1 and on ESPN making fun of the management of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes. Ripping them new assholes.
I think he referred to Shad Khan and his idiot son have ran the team into the ground. This one sports reporter said on ESPN. So, his idiot son. Everything that guy touches. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I wanted to get into this.
Okay.
Because people are like, it didn't look like a very hard throw. Guys, gals, we are not all made the same.
Right.
We're not.
He was a little
You
guy.
don't know if this guy had a bone deficiency, a marrow deficiency, if this guy was in a bad car wreck when he was a kid, if he was in a bad car wreck a month ago, a year ago, or that day. It could have been any myriad of factors that set this whole thing off. I agree it didn't look serious, but we're not all built like He-Man. I used to jump out of airplanes and jets for a living. I had a guy got hurt on a jump. Only guy that got hurt. Destroyed his lower leg. Never jumped again and was in a wheelchair for a year. No one else got hurt on that jump but him. We're not all built the same. So there's no telling what happened to this guy. Thank you, Glenn. Pablo's back.
Pablo, the real one. $4.99. Awful Wrestling is smiling in his sleep about this lawsuit. I'm sure he is.
I'm sure he is.
I'm sure this is another chapter in his book, The Death of
It
AEW.
definitely is. And then the plumber fucked up.
that will be the chapter 23. And then the plumber fucked up.
You know what they should call the chapter 23, whatever the plumber. I think we had a good one. Plumbing problem. That's it. That's what you call that chapter.
You know, this guy, he was not an AEW employee. He worked he worked for a production company that they contract the work out to. And the production company demoted him after this lawsuit to carpenter. Where he's just nailing boards together. That's all he's doing. If it was a AEW employee, you would never hear about this.
Not a chance.
And he would sign an NDA.
Non-disclosure, sign this shit. We'll see it. We'll see it forever.
Here's $300,000. I'll see you later.
Which I'm glad you brought up the NDAs because somebody hit me up on Twitter and said, you know what? If you think that they're paying these promoters, you should just reach out to them and ask them yourself. I said, dude, do you not think that he's probably got an NDA on the money they're getting paid? They're not just going to tell me. Like, that's how business works. Here's an NDA. I'll pay you $10,000 for the next 3 months use of your belt. Thank you again, Pablo. But they don't think like business people, man. They're convinced that everybody's in this for the love of the business. You go into business to make money.
You've got 15, 16-year-old kids. Sometimes they're
fucking virgins
up in their early 20s. And they go to school, they come home, they go right online. They're playing their Xbox. They're on Xbox Live all day long.
Watching Peter North.
Watching Peter North all night long, up until like 3 o'clock in the morning, where they get up, they're sleep deprived, they're up at 7 to go to school, looking like shit, greasy hair, orange fingers, smell like last night's
wearing the same underwear from the day before.
Yes. It looks like a sunrise in the back of those drawers.
The son of a bitch looks like a fucking oven. It's like a little goddamn biscuit in their drawers that's been sitting all night and hardened over. Krusty McCrusterson. That's why we call you shit stains.
It's rough, dude. Those kids are rough. They're rough around the edges. And they think they know everything. Not having a real job in their entire lives. Not having paid a bill of their own.
Criticizing anybody.
Their car insurance is paid by their parents. Their car payment is probably paid by their parents. And they just sit at home. Mom, I need a credit card. My Xbox Live subscription expired.
My Pornhub's going to expire, man.
Pornhub's down. What am I going to do? Come on, Mom.
It's
come down here and eat your lasagna. I want a Chick-fil-A.
I'm not even going to come down there to eat that shit.
Or I should say, come up here.
Well, that's come up, yes.
Because their dad in the basement. Come up here.
I'm sliding right now. That's what he calls his happy time, sliding. Yes, there you go. I don't know what to say about this AEW product that I'm watching right now. It's just getting worse by the minute. And by the way, for the people that are always like, you guys are just AEW haters, we just shit on Goldberg for 10 minutes. Trust me, we're not happy with everything going on in WWE, but it's getting better. There's a light at the end of the tunnel where you can tell that they hear the fans and they're like, we got to change course on all of this.
They're making
pretty
course
fast.
Corrections. Yes, they are.
Yes.
They are making
the
course
John
corrections.
Cena shit. They're directing the ship in another way because this run has been ass. It has not been fun. It's not been good. And they're changing the direction of this whole thing. So thank God for that as well.
SmackDown's been blah, a 3-hour blah fest for
Right.
months now. And now they're going to put it back to 2 hours, which is a good thing.
This past Friday felt like a Raw show.
Yes. They put a little more effort into the writing of it.
And Raw felt like SmackDown. I couldn't get the fuck through that show fast enough. Which, by the way, Nick Khan had a comment this week. He was interviewed.
Yes.
And the interviewer asked him about all the negativity on social media posts for wrestling. And he had a very direct message. He wanted and this kind of took me by surprise. He said he wanted everybody to know in the IWC he takes their comments very seriously, and they try to make those fans happy and change mid-show sometimes to make sure that they get those fans happy. No, he didn't say that shit. He said, you're fucking losers. Comment on it all you want. They're going to do what they think makes money. You morons. All of you. Diaper-licking morons.
You depends-wearing assholes. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Have you heard, Don? Have you heard on the lighter side of the wrestling business? Have you seen the trailer for the new Naked Gun movie?
Yes, I'm glad you brought this up. I posted that shit.
You did?
Yes.
Cody Rhodes is the bartender.
Cody Rhodes. Yeah, Cody.
Look at that wig.
Look at that
wig. Look at that freaking wig he's got up there.
Notice, by the way, that he's got the same thick knot in his tie that he always has.
Yes.
No cheap knots for Cody Rhodes. He's going to look the part every time. And
Full
doff
Windsor.
my cap, sir.
Full
Doff
Windsor
my
knot.
cap. Good for him for getting this role. I have now seen a preview and a half, and I've made up my mind on this. I'm seeing this movie as soon as I can.
Yes.
It looks absolutely hilarious. Liam Neeson is the perfect guy for this role. I didn't think he would be. There is a scene in this where they're all bowing before their fathers to pay homage to them to try to save this police squad. And it's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Yes.
Because the lone black cop in the squad kneels before OJ Simpson and look at the camera and goes, he ain't doing shit. It's hilarious, man. Oh my God, I can't wait.
Those Naked Gun movies with Leslie Nielsen were just classic, man.
They
Classic
are
stuff.
They are the gold standard. The gold standard.
Priscilla Presley's walking. She's climbing a ladder at the library or whatever she's working at. And he's looking up. And she's got a dress on. He goes, nice beaver. And she comes back down with the stuffed beaver. You like it? I just had it stuffed. Great stuff. Great stuff.
The safe... Wait, hold on. The best part of the movie. Do you practice safe sex? I do. Oh. And they start making out with huge body condoms.
Full body condoms. Great stuff. Great stuff. Hey, that's Enrique Palazzo. Remember the whole thing with the ball game?
Yeah.
Jesus God almighty. Man, nobody could do it like
what a
Nielsen.
movie.
He reinvented himself doing comedy.
For those of you that might be too young to remember, go back and watch this. It's Naked Gun files a police squad. The first one is the funniest shit you'll ever see. 2's not bad, but 1 is just, it is a laugh on fallout laughing funny. It's just hilarious.
He's wearing a wire and he's sitting at the table at this big banquet with Queen Elizabeth. He's got to go to the bathroom. You just hear him pissing for like an hour. It sounds like
it's a minute and a half piss, and he's whistling and singing the whole time. And when you think it's done, it starts back up. He's like, oh, it's just great. By the way, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. We appreciate all of you.
I got another little wrestling nugget about Goldberg. Have you heard this story? Have you heard the story that he met Gunther back in the day? Listen to this shit. He did an interview with us with the sports podcast, the National Football Show with Dan Saleo. Goldberg says it will be an honor to step in the ring with Gunther for his retirement match. Bill Goldberg says, I remember meeting him years ago, right when he broke in, and the guy had a shooting star up his ass at that point, and I knew he was going to be destined for big things. And hey, it's an honor for me to get in the ring with him. It's an honor to step into a position to be vying for the World Heavyweight Championship. To be vying for the World Heavyweight Championship. You heard it right from the man's mouth because it's been stated, oh, it's not going to be for the belt. It is. At 58 years old, I don't know of any other ones who retire with a match like that. So he's going to win that title and get his ass
then
kicked
lose
by
it to
Seth
Seth
Rollins and
Rollins.
company.
Yep.
Yes. That's what's going to happen.
Cody Rhodes.
This man has never met Gunther before. Years ago when he was coming up. That means Goldberg would have to have gone to NXT UK, where Gunther started, and then come down to NXT in Florida.
What do you want, man? He learned from Hogan. He's got to bullshit his way through this some way, somehow.
Good Lord Almighty, dude. This guy.
I'm sorry, I don't speak jive.
He's stewardess. Oh,
Airplane, if you're wondering.
That was Airplane's another of the same people that did the Naked Gun. Those guys. Oh my God,
it's so good.
Johnny, how about some coffee? No thanks. Remember that? He's trying. Louis Bridges trying to get in the tower. He's trying to get the office boy to get him some coffee.
The greatest line out of Airplane was, "Looks like I picked the wrong day to quit sniffing glue."
And he's upside down. Next time you see him, the head of the air traffic controllers in the tower. He's hanging upside down with his hair dangling. All strung
Bottles,
out
when is the next big WWE PLE/show?
I think that's...
Is it July 12th?
That's Saturday, July 12th at 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon, Don, on the Cock. It's Evolution 2, which they had to throw out.
The Evolution show, which, Denise, are you paying attention? It's all female, all women all the time. The Cheetosexuals got out the lube.
They threw everything out now because Liv Morgan was going to be a huge part of that show.
Right.
With a whole bunch of, she was in like 3 different
And now
angles.
they got to change it all. Yeah, they got to change
Io
it.
Sky, Nikki Bella, and Roxanne Perez. She had 3 feuds going on. And look at her now. Unfortunately, she's out. So I would say Roxanne Perez is going to move.
You just sounded like Phil Collins.
What's that?
Take a look at me now.
Take a look at her now.
I fucked up my shoulder somehow. I've got to forfeit this shitty title, and it don't matter how.
Oh, listen to this. Listen to this.
Oh, listen.
They are going to abdicate the women's tag titles because she's going to be out for 6 months. So Gonzo.
I keep hearing that. And what I keep also hearing is they're thinking about getting rid of them altogether and quietly discarding them. I've heard this is a rumor that they're just going to shit on these things. They'll be like, these things are cursed. We don't need to do this anymore. We now officially have 4 women's singles titles. We don't need this anymore. And it makes sense to me.
Have you heard about the WWE's Mexican Super Show?
Yes, sir.
It's going to be 2 nights, July 26th and July 27th. Sábado Domingo. Friday and Saturday. And it's going to be the location. The location's yet to be finalized. But you're going to have Rey Mysterio. You're going to have everybody there.
Oh, yeah. You're going to have them all there.
Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins. Who else is that? Kofi Kingston. Woods, Fatu, Ray Fenix. Penta.
So it's going to be a big damn deal. Will it be on YouTube, Peacock? What's it going to be on?
It does not say. This is
Okay.
information coming from Wrestle Votes, not Wessel Votes, but
Which,
Wrestle
if you have,
Votes.
okay, so for all the people out there on Twitter, I'm gonna give you some advice. Mute the guy that is Wessel Votes without the R, or completely block him,
I
which
think he's
I
gone.
have done.
I think he's gone. I think that account might be shut down. I'm not sure.
I would hope the hell so. What else you got, Bottles? Because I'm all out of ideas.
I'm going to show you 3 pictures, Don, and I just want to hear your comments on these 3 pictures. Who are the 3 women in this? This is a shot from the Mae Young Classic at NXT.
Okay, that's Rhea Ripley. That's Horse, and I don't know who the girl on the left is.
That's Casey Catanzaro.
Okay.
Remember the Party Girls? There was a tag team.
But hell
They
no.
used to fire off the confetti guns and shit like that when he came out.
Take a look at me now.
And there's Audrey Edwards. She's got to still
Aubrey.
have her. She's still got to do the gestures. When
She
it's just gonna be a
does have
hands-
to do the gesture. She does.
She cannot. Was
Look
she a
at the
mime?
size of Rhea Ripley, though. Good God, Lily.
Well, Casey
She is
Catanzaro.
just a big girl, man.
But Casey Catanzaro is a very little girl. So.
But
And
I'm
then we-
saying, look at Rhea. She is a monstrosity of a woman. Oh,
Really?
shit. What kind of fucking party is this?
Look at these. Look at these old friends here. Diddy and Vince. Imagine that. Imagine
What kind of a conversation went down? Have you tried baby oil, baby? Nah, shit on him, pal. What the fuck?
that. Have you ever? What you do? You defecate? You defecate on that on some girl's head?
Ah, shit on him like crazy.
You gotta do it, pal. You love it. Once you do it, once you're prairie dogging, you'll never go back.
Baby, that's crazy. I'll be baby oiling.
And then what I like to call a little segment on the show as we close out the show, Jobber of the Week. We'll take a look back at famous WWE jobbers. And here's a guy right here, the great Ken Raper from Monday Night Raw.
Fuck?
The great Ken Raper.
Oh, God, dude. Who said, you know what this guy should be called? The Great Raper.
Ken Raper. Ken Raper.
You know what?
Have a mass tag team of luchadors, the Fornicators.
Oh, dear God. It's the Fornicators. Here's the Kid Rapers.
Yeah, here's the Ken Raper and the Fornicators. Oh, it looks like Fornicator 1 got hurt on that clothesline.
Here comes Peter North.
Master of the go behind.
He's coming in for the run in. That's the reach around. I was wrong. You know what? This has gone to shit. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you next week.
Till next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.